Hello, welcome. Today is September 23rd, 2025, and I'm here to do our weekly check in. So let's begin. If you're wearing headphones, please lower the volume. I welcome in my spirit guides and holy angels, the highest and greatest good. I welcome messages of love and light that bring healing and love to all. Please bless this reading. Thank you. All right, guys. So I hope everyone is doing okay. We just went through a solar eclipse. There was possibly like a lot of energies that were kind of up in the air. And so I'm kind of curious to see like where the energies are at for this week. We were supposed to go live yesterday, or actually day before yesterday, but we decided not to. Sunny is actually starting a new job. So if you guys are following us on the lives, then I will keep you posted on the next one for the next moon. Okay. All right. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into this week's reading. Okay, so for this week, I would like to use my tarot visions, and then also this is the Kipper deck, and so we'll see what comes out from there. And then also this is the Oracles of the Seven Energies by Colette Baron Reed. Okay, so let's go ahead and see. Spirit and Holy Angels, can you please reveal to me clear messages? Regards to the collective, twin flame, could be a twin flame, could be a soulmate, whatever that you view this reading as. This could actually be about yourself, so take it as it resonates. What do we need to know about the other person or energy? Okay, so this week we have here the Magician, and what I'm seeing is that there is an opportunity for your person to make an offer. Okay, um, what I'm hearing is that this may not be easy. Okay, this may be a little bit difficult, and I can see, um, and there could be some gossip, there could be some finger pointing, is what I'm also seeing. And that is possibly the reason why that there is a delay in having like this relationship take off. Okay. So if you've had contact, if you were, the ones that I've been channeling, and you've been into contact with your person, things are coming off at a rocky start. Okay. It's not like roses and stuff. It's not like romantic. Um, Basically, what I'm feeling is that stuff went down. Your person decided to leave a karmic situation. Yeah, there's conflict, there's gossip, there's like all kinds of stuff, right? Um, and so, your person could be in resistance to this energy. Um, it's possible because, there was a breakup, okay? So for some, your person has broken up with the karmic. For others, there is a release or a letting go of a karmic situation. This could be friends, family, work situations. There's like a drastic change, and I want to say course of events up to this point where your person is going through a significant loss. Okay. Yeah. I see your breakups, divorce, there's separation, there's arguments. So I'm not going to lie, like from whatever happened in last week up until this week, there could be like a lot of anger, arguments. Like, the energy was not stable. So, I mean, they may feel as if they don't want to do nothing, right? Like things are not really progressing. Um, it's possibly because, they're really disappointed in their past actions. For some, your person could have been like drinking alcohol to self-soothe or to make their situationship better. Okay, what I'm hearing is that it's not because of you. Your person is drinking because of other situations, and the reason why that they're going through all of this, why? Because they realize that it's going to be a challenge to go up against their own friends, their family, people that they've been surrounded by. What I'm hearing, for some, it's toxic, like these people are toxic. Not that like every karmic situationship is bad, but if your person was caught up in a multiple person situation, there's a lot of letdowns. There's a lot of like difficult energies from what I can see. I see that they're looking at their past. They really want to let go of their past so that they can make amends with, the present or their near future. Um so the truth is that the karmic was selfish. So what I'm hearing is that they did everything that the karmic wanted. They tried everything in their power to make them happy. Were they making themselves happy? Heck no. Okay. Like, I really feel like whoever that you're dealing with, there were, I don't want to say a people pleaser, but they did what they felt was the right thing. And, not all karmics feel entitled to this, okay? I'm not saying that every karmic is like this, but for this particular reading, um, they are, okay? They're just thinking about themselves. Maybe it's because they're not spiritually awakened. Maybe, they're just living their life, with the basic crap that's going on. And that is what they know is relevant, okay, to their own personal life, their own personal situation. But your person is going through a spiritual awakening, okay? At least, that's kind of like the next step, right? Because they've already lived through the 3D paradigm, the 3D matrix, like probably living with the family, making them happy, just like living life without purpose. And I'm not saying that what they did was not for nothing, because what they did was they thought what they did was right. Okay, it was the right thing to do. But what I'm trying to say here is that were they living their spiritual purpose? Were they doing themselves a favor by people pleasing other people? They were not doing the right thing, guys, okay? Like, this is a karmic lesson that I'm seeing very clearly that your person was going through. And that's why they were suffering. Why did they, for years, put themselves through suffering? So I really feel like now, at this point, they're coming to a realization that enough is enough. No means no. You know, maybe the karmic didn't like what the masculine had to say about the situation, so there's conflict, and I also feel that there's family members and friends that got in on it, and they tag teamed and ganged up on divine masculine over here, and divine masculine is facing a shit show. Okay. So what I'm seeing here, I see here the Empress. It's actually coming in reverse. So how does the feminine feel, right? Feminine feels like shit at this point. They're like, well, this is not what the feminine wanted, you know. So that's the whole thing, you know. In the very beginning of this journey, it could have been glorified. It could have been like a romantic, you know, situation. But I'm gonna tell you, okay, like this twin flame journey, you know, it may had a bubble moment just like any other, like, you know, session when you meet up with someone new. You know, you have a bubble phase, right? But this is a spiritual connection. Doesn't have to mean that you're spiritually supposed to be with this particular person, but if they choose to work on themselves and also the person who is watching this, then there is potential for a harmonious union if you guys come into alignment. If there is no alignment and the whole purpose is for this person to come into your life, you know, for you to go through something karmically, but also this person, you know, going through karma, you're actually learning a like an important lesson in this particular time, in this particular like life, about the thing that you needed to learn to resolve karma. Okay. So that's what I'm seeing. So your person is really open to take a risk. Okay. They're open to travel towards you. You know, like you feel safe to them. That's quite obvious, you know, and obviously every time when masculine goes into like a problem or situation, you know, they could seem like they're running back to divine feminine. Okay, so I just want to say to my feminines who's watching this, it can be male or female. Just be cautious, okay? You don't want to be rebound. You want to make sure definitely that the situation between your person and the karmic is completely over. From what I'm hearing, it's yes, but your intuition might say something different only because of your past experience. So I would say, you know, just be cautious, but let them over time prove to you that it is done. Okay. Yeah, so they feel like, you know, they've been careless before in the past 8 years. What have they been doing? You know, your person is going through a lot. You know, they know that it wasn't fair. It wasn't fair for them. It wasn't fair for you. You know, for some, I'm hearing that your person was like living a lie, you know. Yeah, and so they realized that they were staying in a strings attached relationship with the karmic, you know, possibly because, you know, it just made sense. Or, you know, they try to make so many excuses as the reasons why they stayed stuck in a particular situation. Maybe it's because of family, maybe it's because of an agreement or a job, whatever the thing is, okay? They know that when they took that path, they became fake. Maybe they were too greedy, right? They wanted everything. Maybe they thought that, you know, financially it would just work out. This seems to be the right thing to do. But the whole time they were just living a lie. Okay. So they don't know what to do. And so, yeah, so I definitely see that whoever this is, there's an opportunity for them to break free from a karmic. This does not come easy. And as a matter of fact, I'm seeing like shitty arguments, finger pointing, and stuff like that. Okay. All right. So how are your person is thinking here in the headspace? So, you know, they're not stable, okay? Like to them, like time is of essence and um they have no sense of time is what I'm hearing. They're in a vulnerable state because there's no stability. Um they're kind of in their head, right? People, like I said, poking their finger, right? I can't make this crap up, pointing the finger at your person like, you little shit, you know, you, like I'm hearing like really bad talk, okay, to your person, like telling them that they're X, Y, and Z, and they're this, they're that, how could you, all kinds of stuff. And so they're at their weakest point. Okay, and I know how my feminines are. You have compassion, you have love for your divine counterpart. So naturally, I feel that you want to open up, you want to express, how you're feeling towards them. So naturally, if that's the case, they could be open to come forward towards you. Okay, I mean, I know you don't want to push them away as far as you can, but that's how energy works. So how are they feeling? They're feeling alone. Okay. um what I'm hearing is that they try to put in some effort for the past 3 years and it didn't work. Okay, for the past 3 years, if this is resonating with you in your situation, if you've known your person for some time, what I'm seeing here is that for their past 3 years, they've tried to make it work with the karmic. They lived the lie. They did all that they can to make the karmic happy, not themselves, but for the other person and other people involved. Because I really feel like that one person includes family. Okay, so I definitely feel like this is a karmic situation dealing with your person, with family, could be children, whatever the attachment is, or whatever goes down the pipeline. Okay, to the person who you're inquiring about. They're feeling alone because um, they had to hold back their true feelings. I really feel that your person was living like a lie, like maybe living a double life, maybe faking it for the longest time, like, and that's why they seem to be like a really good liar. Okay, like practice makes perfect, and they've been doing this for 3+ years, living this life, living this, story that they created because they chose that. So, what is it that they want? They're trying to come up with an idea of how they can come to the feminine in a romantic way. Okay, there is an opportunity. There's quick movement. You could be talking to your person right now. Okay, they may seem to be like really um hard for the feminine. Okay, like whatever. They could be feeling it. Okay, like, yeah, the situation between them and the karmic was crappy. Okay, so from what I'm hearing is that the situation with the karmic is over. There's nothing for the feminine to worry about, though. So again, I keep hearing this. So if you have doubt, know that this is true, especially if this is resonating with you, but don't make it fit if it's not like happening to you. In the present moment, it could manifest for you at a later time. Okay, because time is fluid. It really depends on where people are at energetically in their journey. But what I'm saying here is that they don't know how to do this. Okay, because maybe because they've done things in the past. Okay, they know that that's not going to fly with the feminine. Because the feminine kind of knows the masculine and their antics or how they go about doing certain things. So there is something there, but there's a little bit of a holdback. So right now, this is good. They're taking the time to really go deep within themselves. Okay. They really don't know how to go forward. Yeah, I mean, the sun card in reverse could be a little bit pessimistic, but we just had a solar eclipse where there was a temporary point in time where things were blacked out. Okay, the sun wasn't really completely shining, but there was a split moment for people to start seeing. And what the masculine started to see was this need for change. They need to change. They need to like renew themselves in a new way, a new form for a new beginning. And in order to do that, they have to really take care of themselves. Okay, not have them take care of the karmic. Okay, or let's just say take care of you. Obviously, there's limitations. I'm not saying like they have to do 100%, but they have to focus this to them. Okay, their cup is flowing outside and everywhere. It needs to be upright so that they have an abundance, so that they have something to give. Right now, they need to give back to themselves. Okay, they're missing themselves. That's what I'm seeing, guys. So, I mean, there is this opportunity for change. It really depends on how much work your person is doing. Okay, so first things first, what I'm saying is that they're trying to ground themselves. Okay, they're trying to ground themselves by walking away and letting go physically from a situation that they called home. Okay, that's the first step. Okay, if they really want union with the feminine, they have to go, they have to physically let things go. So there's a lot of anxiety, a lot of tension that I'm seeing here for this week about communicating to do the right thing. And they have no energy is what I'm seeing here. They need to take care of themselves. So they're aware. So, what I'm seeing is that, guys, this is good. I feel like this is good. Finally, there's a wave of, divine masculines who are stepping away from their karmic relationship. Okay? No means no, is what I'm hearing. It's not like a maybe no or no today and go back tomorrow. I'm not feeling that. I really feel like this is a complete closure of this person who's about had it, who, like valued other people more than themselves. And I really feel like that was the karmic lesson for this group of twins who were always eager to people please other people in situations because of their limited beliefs, okay, of thinking that they were doing for the highest and greatest good, but really it wasn't. Because the whole spiritual lesson here is to love yourself first. Okay, so if you've been with me on this channel, I talk about this. Hopefully, for my OGs who watch me, you guys are finally getting this concept, right, of loving yourself first. Okay, it goes really deep, and it takes a lot of players, a lot of like characters, to go through this, and unfortunately for some it takes years. It takes years to come to this realization. But and I said this to another person recently, just because I say something, or just and because I've seen it, I have the guidance for it, but the person has not gone through that experience themselves. Unfortunately, even if you tell something to someone, they have to go through it themselves to fully understand. Okay, and unfortunately, it could take years, it could take decades. That's karma. Okay, that's what I have to say for this week. So let's see. Spirit, is there anything else that the higher self of the divine masculine, what is it that they want to communicate to the feminine at this time? Any other tidbits of information for this week of September 23rd, 2025? Thank you, Spirit. Okay, we have here Distant Horizons Courthouse and a message, okay, in reverse. And then we have here a child in reverse. So there's a couple of things. The main energy here is that they're no longer feeling childish. They're no longer using the child, if they have children, as a reason for them staying stuck in a relationship. Okay, it can mean several things to some of you. Now, I see here distant horizons. Your person is trying to figure out where they're going to land their anchor. Okay, but first, there are some legal situations that is going on. So they're looking towards the future, but they can't plan too far in advance. That's why your person isn't really talking about this or telling you permanent plans about what it is that they want. Okay, it's because they don't want to come off as being immature. They want to make a mature decision. Okay. If this involves children, um, they're trying not to use that as a scapegoat. Okay, is what I'm also hearing. So yeah, I'm also saying that they could be losing a lot of money and they're losing their family. Again, I really feel like family is kind of attached to this reading, and there's change. Your person could be moving out of the family house. Okay, losing a lot of money. They could be like holding back, not telling you everything because they're in this transitional stage. They don't even know where they're going. Okay, that's what I'm seeing here. That's a lot, guys. Okay, yeah. So yeah, this person definitely wants to date the feminine. They're just trying to find some stability. They're not in a good space right now. They're feeling crap. So I'm not gonna lie. If this is resonating with you, your person could be coming towards you um, because they need you. Okay, they need a hug. They need, camaraderie. They need something that feels safe and secure. They're not in a safe place. They've moved out of the house if they're living with the family. Stuff like that. Okay. So, Spirit, what is the message that wants to come through for the collective? Thank you. What is the message? What is the advice or guidance that you have for the collective? Yeah, this is perfect. It says healing the heart. Your person needs to heal. Like they're going through so much, it hurts. Okay, so let's see. Okay, it says healing, making amends, and the willingness to release past pain, being responsible and accountable, taking time to get healthy, renewal, and rebirth after suffering. When you are wounded emotionally, you need time to regroup and find your center. You may have recently endured a breakup or betrayal, lost someone close to you, or lost an affiliation that you gave too much power to. Perhaps you're watching someone go through a difficult time and feel bad that you can't help them. Exactly. This is where it's like, I'm not saying boohoo, woe is me, but I really feel like the masculines, they're hurting right now. And they're probably not in a position to give into a relationship. Like I'm definitely not seeing butterflies and rainbows at this point. It is reality. The reality is that there has been a recent breakup or moving out of the house situation. um it's not the greatest energy, and for some, if they already are living outside of the karmic situation, I just feel like they've closed a chapter to their past. Okay, like their karma is done. So it says no matter the cause of the heartache, deep healing is called for. This happens on its own timetable and can never be rushed. So try to understand the timing. I mean, if it's been years, like a little bit more time is not going to hurt. Okay. Okay, so the path to healing the heart centers on reciprocity, the flow of giving and receiving. Sometimes wounding occurs because we've been too dependent on another, and this is accompanied by the desire to manipulate or control an outcome. Both wounding and healing usually begin within, not from our outer conditions of our lives. We often believe that we can be wounded only by others, but we do more damage to ourselves in the self sabotaging way that we think and behave. So, this is very true for my Scorpios who are watching this, okay? It is important to take steps to heal yourself and become willing to release the pain of the past, what can be tempting to revisit. It's time to take responsibility for your part in this healing journey. Look for ways that you can help yourself and others. Are you willing to make amends if needed, or conversely, accept someone where they are without trying to influence their growth process? Healing the heart in all aspects is your priority now. Nothing else matters. Only beauty and goodness will come as a result. You know, depending on where you're at in your journey and like your soul level, right? Like your level of understanding, your level of wisdom, of trying not to push, trying not to control outcomes, because that's a little bit of manipulation there. But if you can come from a place of understanding and compassion and holding space in your heart for the person and what they're going through, then, you know, just be there for them as you can. Try not to like do too much, because this is happening organically. Okay. I really feel like this is karmic, obviously, because there's a karmic involved, but I'm just saying that someone's karma just got completed. Okay. And so, in order to enjoy positive karma, there has to be like this complete healing. And when I mean complete, I don't mean 100%, but healing from the past so that they can move forward, so they can truly enjoy the present and also future. I hope that that actually makes sense. Let me know. So like if that makes sense, go ahead and leave a comment down below, like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you guys would like to book a personal reading where I dive deeper into your situation, you can do so at www.scorpiomoonintuition.com. You can also follow me on IG at Scorpio Moon Intuition. I hope y'all have a lovely day, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.